Good morning. I'm reading y'all's comments. Um, Monday, for some reason, Facebook would not post my live. So I was trying to wait to see if Facebook got here. And I got this message from one of the backup dancers. I missed you. I think it was Brenda. I missed you on your live Monday. And I was like, well, I was there. And then I went and looked and noticed I wasn't on Facebook. So, and see, let me go look. No, I'm not on Facebook. Oh, wait, it says I am. Oh, there's Lorraine. I guess I am on Facebook. I cannot. Okay, let me just say this. When I had surgery, they said, you'll be good in a week. Like, you'll be good in a week. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to hire somebody to help me for a week, and then I'm going to be good. And it has been, is it 2 weeks today? And I ain't good. And I'm like, am I a weakling? Like, what the heck? Why am I struggling, after 2 weeks? And last night, this is probably too much information, but just bear with me so you know what I'm going through. But last night, I was in the bathroom and I have to do this like saline rinse twice a day. And I did the saline rinse and then I started gagging. And when I gagged, this is too much information, but I am not joking. A blood clot came out of my nose about that big. And I'm screaming at Shane. He's like, I don't want to see it. And I'm thinking in my head, it was an old blood clot. It wasn't anything new because it was dark red or like almost black. But I'm struggling. I don't know if y'all can tell in my videos or, but it is just like I have headaches every single day. I can't, like, it feels like I have headphones over my ears and I can hear myself talking in my head. And it's just, I'm just struggling. I'm really, really don't feel good. And I don't know if y'all noticed, I'm just not posting quite as much. Or if I post all in about 5 seconds because I don't feel like doing anything. So, bear with me, is all I can say. The center is supposed to come today. And another thing is, I'm struggling with listening to music and stuff. It's like ringing in my head. Like I was trying to listen to music on the way to my son's event, and it aggravates my ears listening to anything of volume. And it's just, I don't know. I call the doctor's office and I have an appointment. I think it's, let's see, I don't know if it's next week or the next. Let's see. I have an appointment August the 5th. So I'm just like, and the doctor said, Judy, it's going to take, I may have told y'all this, but I said, I can't hear. Like my ears have been driving me crazy because I keep having double ear infection. I'm like, my ears are driving me worse than this. I can't stand it. And he said, you had major surgery on your ears. And I said, well, what happened? And you know I'm sorry, but you know how husbands are. He went and talked to Shane after surgery because I was out of it, and Shane did not tell me any of this. But when they went in to put tubes in my ears, I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but something about they had to go into my eardrum and do an ablation because I had so much infection. And so he said, Judy, you have stitches inside your ears. I was like, oh, well, no wonder they're janked up. Y'all told me a week and I planned for a week. And so he said, I'm not going to get all my hearing back for 4 to 6 weeks. So it's like I'm told, if you just do this, cover your ears and start talking. Do you see what that sounds like? That's what I'm hearing 24/7. So, and then I'm trying to talk to Larry, and Larry can't hear thunder. And he's like, I can't hear you. I'm like, I can't yell. If I yell, I'm going to blow my brains are going to explode out because I'm already so loud in my head. Now that I've been on that rampage, like I said, I just don't feel good. I have been taking naps during the day. Like I go outside and I do the necessaries, and then I come inside for a little while, and then I go back outside. So I am doing my best to take care of myself, but I just don't feel good. Let's just put it that way. The center's supposed to come today, and I don't feel like doing anything with myself, to be honest. In my video yesterday, I did not mention anything in the video, but I did in the description. So I'm not going to go into too much details because it'll be in my Thursday video, but we're dealing with people on our property again. And that's not been fun. But that has been rectified. It won't happen again. Let's just put it that way. I'm even having trouble concentrating. Okay, what am I supposed to be talking about? Oh, yeah. Staying in your own lane. I really, at this point, when you don't feel good, you need to be staying in your own lane. But I don't know if any of y'all can relate to me because I'm probably different than 99.9% of you. There's probably that 0.5% that can relate to me. But I'm going to talk about some things that I do where I find myself in somebody else's lane and I'm not staying in my own lane. So for that 0.5% that can relate to me, maybe this will help you. So I am a fixer. Okay. I am a fixer. And I am a helper. I'm going to give you some examples of things that I do, of me not staying in my own lane and how it affects me. And again, I don't know if any of you can relate to me, but this is the raw truth. So I'll start with my nephew. So my nephew calls me pretty often and talks to me about life, just, life in general, finances, how to, buying a house, car insurance, what do I do on this? And I don't know for sure, but his dad is my brother that's in jail. And I feel like he hasn't had a lot of direction because my brother's been sick since I guess he was in middle school. So he hasn't had a dad to really hold his hand and guide him, like about finances and my nephew is an entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur. And so he reminds me of my brother because my brother was an entrepreneur. My brother owned his own business. And, right now, he really needs his dad. He really needs his dad to guide him because he's wanting to open his own business. And I think he'll be 22 in September. And so when he calls me, like we talk about interest rates and what your payment would be if you bought this and what you have to do to start a business or I just try to hold his hand and be an aunt because when I talk to him it's like my heart just breaks in two because I want to go to the jail and slap my brother in the face and go, "What are you doing? What are you doing to your children?" Like I just want to hit him. Like I'm so mad at my brother because my brother's better than this. Okay. I mean, my brother is so much better than this. This is not the brother that I know. The brother that I know is very successful financially. He's the only one of us that kept their marriage together. He can turn $1 into $1,000,000. He can sell ice to an Eskimo. He is brilliant when it comes to sales and business. He is uh he was the one to me that was the most successful out of all of his kids. I mean, he had his crap straight. And to go from that to being in jail for a year, it's like hard for me to process in my brain. It's very uh uh it's crazy how drugs can do that to someone. I mean, drugs will totally rob you of your whole life. I mean, we went from owning your own successful business to freaking homeless. And like to watch this uncover, we've watched it over the past, I would say, 8 years. It's horrible. And I don't know if you know someone that uh like basically it's meth has taken their life away. I mean, it's taken their family away, their life, their money, their everything, and let their looks, their teeth, and to go from the most successful out of all of us to freaking homeless. I said freaking homeless. It's like, what? You just want to pop him in the head. And when my nephew calls for direction, I find myself trying to step up to the plate and guide him in the right direction that he needs. And so he had called me last week, and my nephew when my nephew was a young boy, my brother went and started my nephew a business. I think my nephew was probably 7 years old. And what he did was he went and bought a bunch of bubble gum machines. And they live at the beach. And he bought him a bunch of bubble gum machines, and he made my nephew go into all these businesses to see if he could put his bubble gum machines in their business. So from a young age, my brother was directing him to teach him business and teach him to get out of his comfort zone and go ask. Because there's one thing about the Wanigers, which is my maiden name, that we all can do. My dad instilled in us selling ourselves. If you can sell yourself, you'll never go hungry. And he basically taught all of his kids that. So therefore, because we learned that as a young age, we instill that in our own children. And so my nephew had a bubblegum machines everywhere, at the beach. I mean, he walked into all these stores and said, "Can I put," this cute little blonde, blue-eyed boy walks in, "Can I put my bubblegum machine in your business?" And no one's going to tell him no, right? Because he's just a cute little boy trying to make a living. And to make a long story short, when my nephew was 16 years old, he's probably the only 16-year-old boy that has made enough money to buy a car himself. I mean, he is a little entrepreneur. And so when he calls me for advice, I always try to guide him in the right direction. And I sit here and I've not seen my brother I think it's 8. I think this year is 8 years since I've seen my brother. He hates my guts. Hates me. Let me just say this. His drug hates me. My brother doesn't hate me, but his drug hates my guts. And here I am, once a week, once every other week, I'm sitting here talking to his son, trying to guide him in the right direction in life because he does not have his dad. But my brother hates me. And I think in my head, one day, if my brother ever recovers, maybe he'll see the big picture. And maybe I'm not the bad sister he thinks I am. It's hard. But when my nephew calls, I kick in high gear. I kick in high gear. And then the next thing you know, I'm all in his lane because I'm trying to rescue. I kick in, I feel sorry and, let me help him because my brother's, like in jail. Let me, he needs guidance. And so he had called me because my nephew is very good at wheeling and dealing because he's done it since he was 7 years old with bubblegum machines. Okay. And he enjoys buying and selling cars. He loves it. He loves to buy a car and fix it up and sell it. And so he had mentioned wanting to know like how to start his own car lot, like his own used car lot. And I don't know. I've never, wheeled and dealed in cars, but this is how I am. I get off the phone with him and my wheels start spinning. And they start spinning. And I'm like, what can I do to help him? I don't know how to start a car lot. I don't know anything about it. So then I go to, I know the answer. We have a cousin that's now a senior citizen that has had a used car lot his whole entire life. I am going to set up a Zoom call with my nephew, me, and my cousin. And I'm going to have my nephew write down questions that he has because I know my cousin will guide him in the right direction. So my wheels are spinning, okay? Because I'm going to fix it. I'm going to help him. And so I send a message to my nephew and I say, hey, I want you to write down questions that you have. Our cousin has had a used car business his whole entire life. And I'm going to try to set up a Zoom call with the three of us so that he can guide you on how to get your license. What do you have to go get, like, how do you get started? Do you have to have so much money down? Do you finance these cars? Do you have to pay interest? Like where do you begin? So I go to work. I'm going to help him. Right? Going to help him. So I began to call my aunt and I said, hey, will you send me Hugh's number? Because I'm going to set up a meeting with all of us because I'm going to help him. And then when I sit here and start thinking about everything, I'm like, oh, I don't want to step on his mother's toes and I need to be careful because I don't want to make my sister-in-law mad because I'm stepping in. But my nephew's the one that called me. So then I messaged my sister-in-law and I said, hey, I'm going to maybe set up a little meeting so that he can ask a bunch of questions and kind of get started. So then, I message my nephew and say, you need to come up with questions and I'll help you. I'll be on the call with you because I know you don't know him. And I never get a message back from my nephew. I never called my cousin because my nephew never messaged back. And I thought in my head, I'm like, what did I do? Am I overstepping my boundaries? I went from being an aunt to trying to solve the problem. And I probably look like the crazy person because I did that. Because I'm the type of person is like, I'm going to get her done. I'm going to get her done. Like, that's just who I am. Like, when there's something at Sneed's farmhouse, the idea comes in my head, and then I run with it. I don't sit here and think about the what ifs. I run with it. And if I'm successful, I'm successful. If I fall on my face, I don't care. That's how I am. I don't sit here and go, okay, let me write down what I'm going to do. I just run with it. And it usually works out for me. Okay. I'm not quite like other people. I don't plan. I don't. Usually where my best idea, because sometimes people are like, where did you come up with this? In the car. In the car. If I get in the car, it's almost like I become dangerous. Okay. And this past weekend, I was in the car because to go to my son's performance, it's an hour drive one way. So what I do is I get in the car and I turn up the music and I aggravate my ears, and my brain just starts spinning. And then I'm like, I'm going to help my nephew. I have an idea. I'm going to call my cousin and I'm going to set up a Zoom call and I'm going to help this young man get on his feet. I'm going to bust my butt to hold his hand because I know he doesn't have his father and it's not fair to him. And I'm going to help him get this used car lot. I am. And by golly, I will. But see, my brain moves faster than other people's. It does. My brain just goes 90 to nothing. And I find myself in other people's lanes because I'm a fixer. And when I didn't get a phone call or a message back from my nephew, I realized, ooh, maybe he was just calling to vent. And then I'm taking him by the hand and going, oh no, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it and we're going to do it by next week. Because that's how I am. When my mind gets set on something, I'm doing it. I am, sometimes when I have this, I don't know, idea, Shane will try to slow me down. And I'm like, look at me, Joker. Have I ever let you down? Have you ever seen me fail at something? Then sit back and let me do my thing. You go over there and sit down and just watch me. And Shane will just sit and watch me, and he's like, "Oh, the heck does she do that?" She do that? And it's like I call it my superpower because it's like if people have been following me since the day I started getting chickens and they see me to where I am today, a lot of people that have chickens that have known me since the beginning, they're like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so like, you're such an inspiration to me. And I'm like, they're like, I don't understand how you did it. Dude, I hit the floor running every single day. Sick or not sick, I hit the floor running every single day. I am where I am because I bust my hump. I took risk. I knew what I was doing in my head and I just did it. And if I fell on my face, I fell on my face. But when it comes to other people, I want them to do what I do. I wanted my nephew to be ripped up excited to talk to our cousin. And I want him to move as fast as me. And he don't. And when that happens, I don't understand. Like, okay, wait a minute. You just called me and you want to start a used car lot. Well, quit thinking about it and freaking do it. That's how I am. That's how I am. Do it. My son. My son dreams of living in New York. And I cannot tell you how many times I've called him on the phone And I said, look, I'm going to help you put together a plan to get you to New York. You're going to have to pay off some debt. You're going to have to save some money, and you're going to have to get your crap straight. But then he would never message me back, like about me helping him. And I'm like, does he think that I can't do it? Like, what? Like, why isn't he taking me up on this? And he's like, Mom, I don't want to go. He's got two friends there that are in theater. He's like, I don't want to go without them. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me right now? You can have friends anywhere you go. Don't let friends hold you back. Go. Go. You're going to get to the point where you're too old and won't be able to go. Like, let's sit down and figure out how you're going to do it. And I can't understand why he keeps putting it off. If this is what you want, why don't you do it? And I think I'm so adamant about it because when I was his age, no one helped me. Like, the dreams that I had, I didn't have a mom and dad going, Judy, let's sit down and figure out how you're getting to New York. Judy, let's put you in dance lessons and get you to the point where you're good enough to go to Broadway. No one did that to me. And you know how, like, when you become a parent, you're like, oh, I ain't doing what my mom and dad did. You know how you say that? You're like, oh, I will be a parent like this. You know, you kind of like want to do the opposite of what your parents did because I don't know, you think that they didn't do things right. And you're like, so when you get to that point, you realize, oh, well, no wonder my parents did what they did. But I am like, look at me. If you're going to New York, you need to do this in the next 6 months. So let's put together a plan to pay off your debt, save your money, and get on a plane and go to New York. Quit talking about it. Do it. And everybody around me is like not listening to me. And I'm over here in my son's lane. I'm over here in my nephew's lane. So let's just keep going. Larry Glasscock, my stepdad that lives with me, drives me insane because he's nothing like me. Nothing like me. And for the past 8 years, I've been trying to get him to get his crap straight. I'm like, okay, we're going to take you to the doctor and figure out what's wrong. And I've been doing this for 8 years. We're going to figure out what's wrong and you're going to get better. You're going to physical therapy. You're going to start eating right. You're going to start exercising. You're going to drink your water and you're going to get your crap straight because the way you're living is a nightmare. And for the past 8 years, I have been all in his business. I have been all in his face going, and he would say, I can't go to physical therapy. Get up and go to physical therapy. This is stupid. Why does physical therapy give you anxiety? Physical therapy is what's going to help you get to where you can walk. If you keep going in this direction, you're going to be bedridden. I mean, I do. And it affects my health because I'm in everybody's business trying to fix them. And it causes me to lose sleep at night. It robs me of my joy because I get mad, especially when it comes to Larry. You know, I, for the past 8 months, I have been serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner in his bedroom. And it started because he broke his tailbone and he couldn't get up. It hurt. So I began to help him. So I was going in there and doing everything. But he had a broken bone. Well, it took him 6 weeks to heal. Well, why did I continue for 8 months to take 3 meals a day into his bedroom? And this is what's happening is when you have this person that is serving 3 meals in the bedroom, when the man can physically get up and walk outside, the caregiver starts wearing out. The caregiver is wearing out because the caregiver has to stop everything she's doing to go get lunch or go get breakfast or go whatever, go do the medicine, go clean his room, go do hospice. And the caregiver is wearing out because the caregiver is in his business and not in my own business. So I began, when I had surgery, I said, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to get out of his business for a little while. So I went in there and I said, hey, your caregiver's going down. I'm having surgery. I may not feel like coming in here bringing 3 meals. Do I need to hire a caregiver or can you do it yourself? No, I can do it myself. And I was like, you can do it yourself. Yeah. So then I see him go in the kitchen, walking fine, fixing his sandwich. And I looked at Shane. I was like, why have I been doing this for 8 months? I'm over here wearing out. Why am I doing it when he can do it? So then I said, okay, I'm going to start giving him a little bit of responsibility back because I'm wearing out. There's one of me. And I'm in everybody's business but my own. So I'm sitting here and he goes into the kitchen and he fixes this sandwich and he makes like 6 sandwiches at a time. And I'm like, why is he making 6 sandwiches? So then I see him on camera and he's putting his sandwiches in the refrigerator in his bedroom. And I'm like, he's going to eat a soggy sandwich instead of going to the kitchen once a day and fixing a sandwich. He would rather make 6 sandwiches and eat them over the next 6 days. He's going to eat a 6-day-old soggy mayonnaise and ham sandwich. And I begin to get mad. And I'm mad because he's so lazy that he won't walk to the kitchen once a day. He can walk outside. He walks to the bathroom 15 times a day. But he can't walk to the kitchen once a day to fix a sandwich. So he's going to make 6 sandwiches to fix his lunch for the whole entire week. That drives me insane. It drives me insane. And I'm like, why am I in his business? Why do I care? If he'll eat a soggy 6-day-old sandwich, why am I mad? Like, why am I in his business? Why am I not in my own? I mean, obviously he doesn't care. Why am I not in my own lane taking care of my own business, getting myself well? Why am I in his business? Why do I care? It's not like he's sitting them on the counter and, not eating them for 6 days and they get salmonella. I mean, he has them in the refrigerator. So then he says, Judy, I'm out of drinks for my refrigerator. So I said, Shane, I'm going to put his drinks on his roll around table. And I'm going to put the table right in front of his refrigerator so he can put them in the refrigerator. So I have a little stack of water and his case of Sprites. And I put them on the table so he can put them in the fridge because I'm trying to make him have some responsibilities because the caregiver is wearing out. So I stick them on the thing, and you know what he does? He picks them up and puts them in the floor. I'm like, why is he putting them in the floor and not? And you know what he's doing? He's bending over, getting a Sprite out of the floor and drinking it hot. Why are you not putting it in the refrigerator? So then I had a flashback. Larry's whole entire life when he lived at his house, when you walked into his house, there was a living room and there was the dining room and the kitchen. And when you went in there, there were probably 10, 12 packs of drinks in the middle of the living room floor. That was like 15, 20 years ago. They weren't in the refrigerator. They were in the middle of the living room floor. So then I was like, it's not like he has dementia and this is something wrong with him. This is what he's done his whole life. It used to drive me and my brother crazy because we would go in there and there would be Cokes and Sprites in the living room floor. This drives me insane. This drives me insane. So I said, okay, this is what he does. If he wants to drink his Sprites and his water's cold, and I've got this nice vintage refrigerator in his bedroom, and he's so lazy that he won't put his drinks in his refrigerator, let him drink them cold. So then he talked the nurse into filling up his refrigerator. I'm like, so yesterday, I go in his room and I pick up the Sprites and I pick up the water and I set it back on his table. And I said, come here. Come here. I want you to put these Sprites and waters in your refrigerator. And his eyes are this big. I want you to put these. Here's your rollinator. If you need to sit down and put your drinks in your refrigerator, here's you a seat. I want you to physically put your drinks. And he stood up and he put all the drinks in the refrigerator. And I'm like, look, you can do this. He goes, I did it yesterday. I said, you put your drinks in your refrigerator yesterday. Mm-hmm. No, you didn't. I saw you on camera. You got the nurse to do it. Oh. Why do I care? Why does this drive me nuts? Why am I letting this rob me of my joy? If the dude wants to fix 6 sandwiches at one time and put them in the refrigerator, why do I care? If he can pick up the water to put it in the floor, he can pick up the water and put it in the refrigerator. Why do I care? Why is this driving me crazy? Why am I breaking down as a caregiver? Why am I in other people's lanes? Why do I care? Why am I pushing people to do things they don't want to do? I'm trying to push my son to New York. I'm trying to push my nephew to open up a used car lot. I have all the answers. I'm sitting here going, this is how you get to New York. If you do this, this, and this, and this, you'll be there. If you do this, this, and this, and this, and have this meeting, you can open a used car lot. Larry, if you would go walk to the kitchen every day, get some exercise, be a little entrepreneur, your caregiver won't wear out and you won't end up in a nursing home because you're going to take care of your caregiver too. I have all the answers. Right? Wake up, people. I'm in everybody's business but my own. And I'm finding that being in other people's business is wearing me out. Because unfortunately, your Aunt Judy thinks that she knows it all. I know the answers to cure Larry. I know the answers. Get your butt out of the bed, get out of the room, and do something. I'm wearing out. I'm tired. I don't feel good. It's all I can do to take care of myself and my animals. I need you to step up to the plate. You're fully capable of doing this yourself. But instead, I'm driving everybody crazy around me because I think I have all the answers. And I thought in my head, what if this was flipped? What if they were all in my business telling me what to do with my life? What if they were saying, Judy, you have too much on you. Judy, you need to get rid of some of your animals. You have way too much on you. What would I say? Would I ignore them? Would I lash back at them? What would I say? I think I would say, no, I don't have too much. The stuff that I have too much on me is all y'all's crap. I'm fine in my farm taking care of my animals. It's all the other crap that's put upon me that's making me struggle. If I could just take care of what I like and myself, I'd be fine. I'd be fine. I've got my animals in a routine. It's not that difficult. But it's all the other crap that I have to deal with because other people won't take care of themselves. And the caregiver and the mother and the aunt is wearing out because people won't listen to me. And I'm the type of person that I take the crap to bed with me. I mean, I am in the bed trying to sleep at night, trying to figure out how to get my nephew a used car lot. I'm in the bed at night trying to figure out how to get my son to New York City. I'm in the bed at night trying to figure out how to get Larry out of his bedroom. The caregiver is wearing out. The mother is wearing out. And the aunt is wearing out. But whose fault is this? It's mine. It's my fault. because I'm trying to take care of everyone but myself. I'm trying to fix Larry. I don't want Larry to die. I don't want Larry to be bedridden. And the rate he's going, he's going to be bedridden. And then what? When he's bedridden, what does that mean for me? My life's going to totally change. His life is going to totally change. And he's pretty much bedridden now because he won't do anything. And I'm trying to put a fire under his butt to go, get outside, get some vitamin D, drink your water, make a trip to the kitchen twice a day. Just walk to the kitchen. Get some exercise. Walk around the house. Quit sitting in a chair and laying in the bed all day long. Your caregiver is wearing out. And I don't want to wear out. I want to help take care of you, but you have to help take care of yourself. Same thing with my son. I want to help you to get to New York, but you have to do your part. Just like my nephew, I want to help you get a used car lot, but you have to do your part. I can't do it for you. Oftentimes, I find myself in other people's business because I am a fixer. I'm a fixer of all things. And it's not that I think I have all the right answers. It's just that I don't understand people that are not like me. I don't understand them. And Shane is a lot like me. Shane and I can get her done. We can. We can get her done. We're both machines. Okay. We wake up running every day. Both of us. We're just alike. I'm like the female version of Shane. Okay. No, I can't do everything like him. I can't weld and build a house or I can't, but I'm like the female version of Shane. I am. I think I broke my finger. Can y'all see how it's turning black? I don't know if I jammed it. You see? There it is. All right here. It's like turning blue and black. There it goes. See it? I've not had any sleep because my finger has hurt so bad. And what I did to my finger is I was catching chickens last night and I accidentally jammed my finger into the roosting bar. And I would love to tell you that's the first time I've ever done that, but the couple of weeks ago I did it to this hand. So I don't think it's broke. I think I've just jammed it, but I can't move my finger. It hurts so bad. Oh, if you're like me and you're a fixer and a know-it-all, and you often find yourself in other people's lanes and you feel frustrated because they're not listening to you, because you have the perfect idea or the perfect answer to fix their problems. I want you to recognize that you're doing it. I don't always recognize I'm in someone else's lane. I don't always recognize it because I think that I'm helping. I do. I think I'm help. I mean, I do it with good intentions. Like going in there, forcing Larry to put the Sprites in the refrigerator. I'm trying. The intention is not to be a ugly or a butthole. I'm trying to help him get out of his comfort zone and do a simple task as put Sprites in a refrigerator. It wasn't like he had to bend over and did it? I did everything for him. I rolled the table to this refrigerator. So all he had to do is sit down on his rollinator and put the drinks in the fridge. Like it seems so simple to me. When I start noticing that I'm in other people's lanes is when I start wearing myself out. And I'm losing sleep and I feel stressed and I start getting sick. And it's just, it gets to, because when I'm in other people's lanes, I'm still in my own lane. So I'm still having to do all the stuff that I do every day. And then I'm taking on more tasks. You see, like I'm trying to run Sneed's farmhouse and I'm trying to stay afloat, but then I put on more stuff on my let me take on my nephew. Let me take on my son. Let me take on Larry. And then there's this little girl over here, this girl over here that's trying to run a farm, trying to run a business, trying to be a wife, trying to be a caregiver, trying to be a mom, trying to be an aunt, and it's stacking up on my head. And then I start breaking down because I'm not taking care of myself because I'm trying to fix everybody else around me. And then I start wearing out. And I'm going to tell you, I am slap worn out. I am slap worn out. Look at me. Can y'all not see? I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but I have, over the past, I would say, maybe it's since surgery because I don't feel good, but I'm wearing out. As a matter of fact, we had an accident in our farm this weekend. And I told Shane, I said, am I not supposed to be open? Like, I keep trying to stay open to the public, and it's just one nightmare after another. From the USDA to an accident on my farm, it's just too much. I don't feel good. I'm trying to stay open. I'm trying to, go to going to libraries, went to a school Monday, drove 2 hours one way. I don't feel good. And it's just too much. And I think a lot of it is because it's too much. It's because I'm in other people's lanes. And I told Shane, when it comes to Larry, I got to get out of his business. I have got to get out of his business or I'm not going to make it as a caregiver. I'm not going to make it. I have been trying to do this for 8 years and I've got to just let him do his thing. I don't understand anything about him. I don't understand because he does not have dementia. He don't forget anything. I don't know what causes a grown man to act the way he acts. I mean, obviously, all the fire's not kicking in his head, obviously. But I'm not handling things well. It's me. He hasn't changed. He's been like this his whole life. This is not new behavior. This is not new behavior. This is what he's done his whole life. So, therefore, I'm not handling it well. He hasn't changed. I'm trying to force things that can't happen. I'm not handling it well. I need to get out of my nephew's business. I need to just listen. I don't think he's wanting to solve everything, and I take on because I get in other people's lanes. And then this girl right here starts wearing out. And then I start getting sick and I start getting stressed and I start. So when you find yourself, oftentimes I tell you that sometimes you have to stop in your tracks and go, "What, Judy, what is wrong with you? Cynthia, do you have to do that? Go look in the mirror. Cynthia, what's wrong with you? Lisa, what is wrong with you?" Do you have to ask yourself that? Because you can feel losing sleep, hair falling out, stressed. You have to go, "What the heck is wrong with you?" And I had to say that. "Judy, what is wrong with you?" And then I realized I was in everybody's lane but my own. And it's hard for me not to be in other people's lanes because I'm a fixer. But I am going to try really hard to take care of myself and get out of other people's businesses because they're writing their own story. And maybe I'm interrupting their story. So today is Wednesday and you have choices. Sitting it out is being in other people's business. A lot of times when people call us on the phone or come to us for problems, we try to solve them because we're fixers. I'm the worst. If you call me with a problem, I'm going to tell you how to fix it. And you better listen to me. I'm the worst. That is sitting it out. Dancing is staying in your own lane. What do you need to do to take care of yourself? Sometimes staying in your own lane feels selfish to me. I feel selfish. But it's not selfish. Stay in your own business. And that's what I call dancing. I will see y'all this week sometime. My video comes out tomorrow. I will explain a little bit more in my Thursday video about what we discovered on our property and so forth, and why we have made quick decisions to go ahead and get the fence up for Dexter. So be looking for my video Thursday. And I want to say thank you so much for supporting me. Heidi, I do want to tell you something. In my video on Tuesday, Heidi said, "Judy, you're the only creator that's ever said my name." Or she said Papa had said it, which is Lester's dad. When you comment, like a lot of times people are here, but they're on their TV and they can't comment. And I understand that. But in order for me to get to know you, when you comment is when I see your names. And just because you don't comment doesn't mean that you're not important to me. You are. But when I see your names, I know who you are. And Heidi, you're always here. Every single time I'm live, you're here. And you're loved. And you're appreciated. And every one of you are. Every one of you are so important to me. And when you take the time to comment or write me a letter or write me an email, it means so much to me. And I always want to be the creator that notices. I don't want you to be a number. I want you to be a friend. I want you to be a backup dancer because without you, I'm nothing. I'll see you later. Bye.